asking things out, figuring out what do I need to do every day to move forward to accomplish my goals. Lindsey just hit 9-star platinum, meaning she mastered in 3 years. She has created 8 executives. Okay, this number to me means more than anything, honestly, because this is a pure indication of true leadership, which I love so much. And she is just going to fill you guys with so much simple, practical things that you can do leaving here that are going to really help, help you achieve that vision and those goals that you have. So, welcome, Lindsey. And the NEWEST Isagenix Millionaire.
How many are you going to love Becca? I'm over here completely fangirling all over this. She just does an incredible job. And I mean, don't you just want her in your pocket to speak to you all day? And tell you how incredible you are, and tell you do it. Do it. So I'm gonna you know what? I'm gonna just come clean. When you guys held up your hands, I looked around. I'm so sorry. I know we were supposed to look at other people, but I really want to know, like, what people in here want, okay? Because if you want something, you have to take action.
Yes.
And Becca talked about that. She mentioned it several times throughout her presentation. She said, you have to feel this way, but then you have to take action. You have to do this thing, then you have to take action. So all of these things that she talked about, the next step is what? Action. Okay. So I did just hit millionaire and platinum and all that stuff, but
no big deal.
Own it, Lynn.
I am a person who likes to feel in control. But I don't really consider myself a control freak. But I like to know what to do. How many of you like to know the steps of what to do? So that just makes me feel like I have a plan. I know what to do next. And so I wanted to just give you some numbers because this stuff speaks to me and it really helps my brain and it helps me understand what it takes to get someplace. So just so you know, I have personally enrolled to myself in the past 3 years, about 330 people. Okay? Now, that's my number. It doesn't have to be your number, but I'm just giving you an idea. We'll take a few other numbers. How many of you personally enrolled? I mean, you can tell me.
I don't really know. Maybe like 400.
Yeah, 400. Becca?
I don't know.
Yes.
300.
Totally wrong. Okay, yeah. So, it can be totally wrong. Like, I don't care. I'm just saying, like, we're going to have different numbers. There's going to be Isagenix millionaires who stand up and say, I enrolled 125 people. Yeah. Okay, so I want you to understand, like, that's my number, but it's a number. Doesn't that make you feel like you're more in control? Like, how many of you know 300 people? Everyone raise your hand, because you do. If you sat around long enough, you would be able to make a list of 300. That's what happens when you go to make a wedding invite, right? You get like 300 people on the list, and you're like, crap, I got to make it smaller. So everyone knows about 300 people. And you know what, you guys? There's some incredible news. If you don't know 300 people right now, it's more people. You can go meet some more people. That's why we teach you connecting and meeting your people. Because chances are that maybe the 300 people that you know don't want the Isagenix solution in their life. Now, after listening to Becca today, should everyone want the Isagenix solution in their life?
Yes.
Everyone should want it, but some people just, for whatever reason, they're not ready at the time that you might have them. How many of you, when you offer Isagenix to someone and they say no thank you, how many of you, be honest, are just devastated? You guys, I love you people. People are so cute. You guys, number one thing you can do to help move your business forward is be completely detached from the outcome, okay? If you're a server at a restaurant and you say, would you like a cup of coffee? And the person says no. Are you on the floor crying later that night because the person said no to your coffee? They didn't want your dang coffee, okay? It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. You are the one who is making a big deal, and you're making it about you. If you're taking it personally, it's suddenly about you, and that's not what this is about. Now, before I go into any more detail about time blocking, how to do this, and typically, you guys, I mean, I have a video about time blocking, and I actually don't have time to go through the whole thing here. So if you really want specific details about time blocking, I'm happy to send you a link. You could just message me on Facebook. Don't send me a friend request because I'm literally almost out. I'm like, I can't accept any more friends. But just send me a Facebook message. It'll pop up. I checked my other folder. I know how to do that. And I will send you the link to my recording. But what I need you to know is that it takes a lot of conversation. It takes thousands of notes. And the faster that you just become okay with letting that be the case, the faster you can move forward. It's all the time spent agonizing over all the no's and picking yourself back up off the floor and doing all that. That's all just a waste of time. It's just a waste of time. And you're letting that slow your progress. So what I want you guys to do is to get focused today on your progress and taking the action steps that you need to do every single day. So just to get an idea, how many of you, just raise your hand and put them up as the numbers go down, but like how many of you have 8 hours a day to work your Isagenix business? Oh my gosh, yay, okay, cool. Okay, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, guess what? You guys can all work in Isagenix business. That's amazing. So if you have an hour to work your Isagenix business, you need to be doing specific activities during that period of time, okay? But what you have to do is be committed to doing those activities every single day. So how many of you, if you're the people who have an hour to work your Isagenix business, that hour comes along and it goes right on by, and you haven't done anything to do your business. We had an amazing speaker at Top Achievers. His name was Darren Hardy, right? That's not weird. Yeah. I think his name's Darren.
It is.
And he said, it's the little things that you do every single day that add up to the biggest consequence. So like if you are just taking a shake, for example, let's say you're incredibly consistent with having a shake every single day, 2 shakes a day for a year, you're going to lose a lot of weight, right? But if you have a shake here and a shake there, and you like have a birthday cake here, and then you have, something else here, like, who's going to lose the most weight? The person who's eating all the shakes, right? Because they're consistently doing something little over a long period of time. Okay, I always mess up this quote. Missy can say it though, so I'm gonna make Missy say it. The quote is something that Darren Hardy said, but it's when I said the difference between people who succeed and don't succeed. Remember? I put it.
The successful people hate it, but do it anyway.
That's right. That was like my favorite quote from the whole thing.
And I'm taking notes on my phone. I don't want to.
Are you texting?
I'm not.
The thing is that there's no difference between successful and unsuccessful, except that the successful will do it anyways, or something like that.
Yes. What do successful people and unsuccessful people have in common? They both hate to do what it takes to be successful. Successful people just do it anyway. Okay? So I am standing up here as that example. I just did it anyways. Now, one of the very first events I ever went to was Eric Worre. And he said, how many of you, if you had a gun to your head right now, could be an executive by the end of tomorrow? If I put a gun to your head and said, I'm going to blow your brains out, who could you be an executive tomorrow? Raise your hand. You all could do it. Like you would make it happen, yes? So why aren't you an executive? You could really make it happen if you wanted to. It's taking the action steps every single day to make it happen. Being consistent, doing it consistently over time that makes that happen. It's the income producing activities and doing those things consistently over time that get people further along the way. Now, what I love about what Becca was teaching you is that so much of why we choose to do what we do or don't do is totally wrapped up in this. That's why what we're talking about, works so well together. Because if your belief isn't there, how hard are you going to push yourself? If your belief in network marketing, company costs, compensation, networking, if all those are zeros, how many of you are going to wake up every day and take the action steps that you need to get where you want to go? So I'm just really fortunate because I came in with 10 across the board. It doesn't mean I didn't suck at first, like Becca said. It does not mean that, you guys. I will bust on myself all the time. I post videos in my business page of my very first Facebook Lives. I'll find them. I'll go to my Facebook memories. I'll dig through all this stuff. I'll go find all the old Facebook Lives. And I'll be like, look at this, you guys. See? I did it too, and I just did it messy, and I did it anyway. It was the small, consistent actions over a long period of time that got me where I'm at today.
I think,
So,
can I say something, Lindsay?
Yeah.
Because I think that what you just said, though, is very valid, that you came into network marketing and you were a 10. You came in with an open mind. You were a 10. You saw the opportunity. You had a mentor. And you made the decision to work hard for everything that Isagenix had to offer. And you didn't get stuck in the small things. You didn't get stuck on the nose. You didn't get stuck on the, I didn't do it perfect. I don't have this. You just did it anyway. I mean, that's huge. That really is huge.
It is huge.
You gave yourself the freedom.
Yeah. But I also had a really big reason. I really did have a gun to my head. What's that like? Kind of. I had, we had a business. We owned a business. That business was failing. It was bleeding money. And I knew I had a timeline. And I saw this opportunity. I walked in. I saw the opportunity. I'd already put the product in my body. And I saw the opportunity. And I thought, I needed a plan B, and we didn't have one. So if there's a gun to your head, you're going to work a lot harder, right? And some of you are just far too comfortable. Some of your whys aren't big enough. Some of your reasons to get it done just aren't there. Should you beat yourself up if your why isn't there? No. It's okay. So you can't compare yourself to me and my story. I know a lot of you, because I did the same thing. I came in with Laura Stevens, and I was like, oh my gosh, she did it. We'll never be like her, But the fact of the matter is, I had a big why. I had a big reason. If you ever hear Laura speak, she had a big reason. She had a big why. She was sick and tired of her husband being deployed to foreign countries all the time, being home alone with 3 kids. How bad do you want it? So you have to make the time. You have to set the agenda every single day. So I'm going to get a little bit into the time blocking, but what I really need you to know is that you have to carve that time out to work your business, whether it's 30 minutes, whether it's 5 hours, whether it's 8 hours, and you have to be productive during that period of time. And you have to treat it like it's just with so much honor and respect and dedication. This is my time. This is my time that I'm spending to work my business. And you have to remove the guilt of, I have 5 kids. So I see so many parents who are like, but my kids, yes, do it for your kids, not in spite of them. Do it for them. I promise you, my kids are a lot happier now than they were back then. Even though I've spent a lot of hours working on my business, they're thrilled. They have the best time. I'm taking them on a cruise in a couple of months. They're ecstatic about it. They've been talking about it for months. Do it for your kids. Do it for them so that they can have the experience. So every single morning, you need to get up and you need to set intentions for the day. And time blocking is a very specific way to create that gap in your schedule to make things happen. So one of the things you have to do is you have to set up and you have to set intentions for your day. You have to decide what you're going to accomplish in that day. You're going to have to make, I actually recommend people time block their whole week on a Sunday. So that means putting every single event that you have during the week into your calendar. So if you don't have a calendar that shows a whole week at one time, you need to get one. I can't do it digitally. Some people can. I have to have it physically on a piece of paper in front of me. I've got too much crap on. There's too many moving parts. So I have to have it on a piece of paper. So I recommend the 7-week calendar that has like 7 a.m. to like 8 p.m. in half-hour increments all the way down. You set that whole calendar for the week. You block in your time spots that you're going to work your business and you treat them as sacred. And you get the income-producing activities done during those times. Now, when I say income-producing activities, what does that mean? Just raise your hand. What are some? I know you guys know what they are. Connecting. Follow-up. Follow-up.
Presenting.
Presenting.
Three-way calls.
Three-way calls. You know what else?
Enrolling.
Enrolling. Having new conversations. Asking people to take a look, as that someone would say, right? You guys have to have the conversations. Do you realize that you have to have about 10 conversations to enroll one person? So theoretically, I've had 3,000 conversations. I can tell you right now that what that looks like in my business 3 years later is very, very different. First of all, I don't have to have 10 conversations to enroll a person. I have to have like 2 or 3. So you get increasingly better at what you're doing, okay? And not only that, I don't have to reach out to as many people. In the past week, I've had 8 people come to me and say, tell me more. So I haven't even had to reach out, but it's because, why is it? Why?
Because of all the work you already did.
Because all the work I've done for the past 3 years, right? So come to realize that all that consistency over a long period of time is going to make a difference later on. We're in such a microwave mentality. We're in such a microwave, if you want, like fast, why not? I want to be an Isagenix millionaire tomorrow. You know, it doesn't happen. It takes time, consistency, effort over a long period of time to make it happen. And you have to be consistent every single day. I'm not talking about consistent every week, once a week. I'm talking about be consistent every single day in working your Isagenix business. So once you get all of that stuff on your calendar, put your Isagenix hours in there and you block them out. And I make people color. Everyone freaks out. I have to color in my calendar? Yes, you have to color in your calendar because visually you have to see your block of time that you're working on your calendar. So I have people on my team in this room. I have been like pounding this since September. Who has done time blocking where it's made a difference that you can share?
Oh, I'm not on your team.
It's okay.
Oh.
I know you do too.
It's been incredible. I was actually just looking at.
Yes, makes my heart.
It helps so much because then when you're looking at your week, and then even when you have personal information, but even when you have like your block time every morning, I know that I have this amount of time for Isagenix. It's in green. And then if I don't have anything scheduled, whatever I choose to use that time for, I write it in so that I can look back and know what I did throughout that week, and it built a belief. And that was crucial for me to just see how am I actually spending my time. But the colors did give me anxiety at first, especially when I'm just like doing and it's messy, but it just feels tangible.
Did you guys hear what she said? That was pivotal. It built her what?
Belief.
How? How did time blocking build her belief? What just happened just now? How did it build her belief? What is that like? Connect the dots for me. How did it build her belief? Someone else answer. How did it build her belief?
If you see how much time you're spending and whether or not you're successful or not, it's going to build belief regardless. If you need to adjust that, and you'll
Right.
just-
right? So you see that block, that hour, and you watch it go by, you didn't do anything, and you're like, well, I'm not working my business, and so I'm clearly not being successful. And it becomes a really big reality in your life.
Yeah, so write this down. Success breeds success. Failure will breed failure. You have to celebrate the little successes every day, not taking Saturday and Sunday off. Right? Like every day you have to celebrate the little successes because they'll feel good and they'll build your belief. And we're not celebrating the little successes, and that is huge. Success breeds success.
Who are my other time blockers?
Well, I deal with like mom guilt and not.
Yeah.
And
Oh, this is my favorite. By the way, this is my best mom guilter right here. Holds the trophy.
have 6 kids, chose to be a stay-at-home mom, so working is hard for me. Like I feel like I'm taking something away from them because I'm working, because I made the choice to be a stay-at-home mom for a reason, But what happened when I time blocked is I had my family colored in orange. And when I looked at the whole week, I was like, oh, they're getting a ton of time. Like, and it made me realize that it wasn't unbalanced, that they were getting a lot of time from me. And I wasn't robbing them of anything. And it was huge for me to see it blocked out that way for me.
I want you to hear me say something.
So good.
I hate the word balance. God, do you want to know what I want to do with that word?
Unbalanced.
It's a lie. Like, who has balance? Nobody. Such a lot of crap. No one has balance. Nobody. So just get over it. Your life ebbs and flows. Ebbs and flows. It does not look the same every day, so balance is non-existent.
Something else time blocking gave me was the realization that I am not spending enough time on myself. Self-care, just time with me, because I'm in pink, I'm fuchsia, so after a couple weeks I go back and I'm evaluating and taking inventory, and my husband's actually the one who said it. He's like, what's the pink? Because there's like 2 lines all week. I'm like, that's when I do my stuff. Like, that's me. Like, go to the gym without the kids, or read a book, or go on a walk, or whatever. And so what Becca talked about with stress, if you feel stressed, it's because you're not taking up care of yourself.
I love that.
That is, I'm linking the 2, so I need to add more pink to my week.
I love that. And to me that's considered.
To be your color.
That's growth.
That's
right
gonna
there.
be my
I love that, and you do have to assess that. And that would be when I'm doing a time blocking session with someone, and I actually do them one-on-one with people. But when I do that, that's what I would call a non-negotiable. Say it with me. Non-negotiable. Taking care of yourself, working out, eating meals, going to bed on time. Except for I don't live by that one. I don't take a shower, Michelle. Shut up. That is not a non-negotiable for me.
No, I was thinking time to shower, so it's good.
She's rounding out my secret. I know shower. Anyone else?
One thing Lindsay had me do, probably the hardest part of the time blocking for me was she had me block out all the day. Like, you have to block it in from morning until you go to bed. You don't leave like 2 or 3 blank hours. Like, you have to leave some out. And that was a little bit challenging for me, but it did help me realize that I had a little more time than I thought I did. Sometimes you make excuses that, oh, I'm too busy this day, I'm too busy this day. But doing that exercise really does allow you to see that you do have a little bit more time here and there than you might think.
This is another mother of 5 children. So you can see what I attract here. Mother of 5, 6. Okay?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, what I noticed most was I saved time. I didn't waste time trying to decide what I was gonna do. I already had it planned out. So, I'd be thinking, okay, I have some time. What should I do? What should I do? Instead, it's all blocked out. I know exactly what I'm doing. I get a lot more done.
Especially when you have those income producing activities in place. So we have something called a power hour. How many of you are familiar with a power hour? It doesn't have to be mine. So, okay, just ask a neighbor to get you a power hour. If you literally only have 1 hour, work your power hour. It's all income producing activities that you should be doing every single day. But you guys, I'm not kidding you. I'm telling you, you have to treat this time as sacred. If it's important to you, you guys all said it was like a 5.
You weren't supposed to be looking.
I told you,
What is your power
I'm
hour?
sorry. That's all I
What's your power hour?
I don't know. I mean, it seriously has like 20 people. So my team jokes that it's more like the power 2 hour. But it's really it's just income. I can post it. Well, I'll send it to you.
It's like wishing people happy birthday, it's following up, it's reaching out to somebody who needs coaching help, it's reaching out to somebody in your business. I mean, it's like,
I mean, honestly, like if you want to get started and you don't have a power hour per se, do the 3x3x3. Does everyone know what that is?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so like just
I got like 15 minutes of this, 15 minutes of this, 15 minutes of that.
yeah.
I didn't know how to start.
Yes. Oh, so it's really just a list of income producing activities and all things that can help you work toward your business. And it's not designated into minutes or anything. It's really just, a habit. So like I said, my team jokes that it's not the power hour, it's power 2 hours. But it's just doing the things. Just like Becca said, it's just doing the thing. I love that she kept saying that too. She was like, the things. Because it's like everyone's like, put things, but like it's just, you all know what they are.
Yeah.
It's the thing.
It's a CEO mindset of just doing it.
Yeah.
Also, on the power hour thing, just so you guys know, it doesn't have to be 60 minutes straight. It could be 15 minutes here, 10 minutes here, because I know a lot of people that are juggling a lot of things and they'll say, I don't have an hour. Well, yeah, you do. You have 15 minutes here, 20 minutes here, 5 minutes before bed. So, but having that checklist is really important because it'll make sure that before you go to bed, did I do the things?
Yeah.
Did I do the things?
And so that, and what that does, it releases all of the stress, the guilt, the feeling bad about yourself, the personal flogging that you do because you didn't go to work today. Right?
Right.
I'm not a time blocker, but I need to be because I feel like I'm so scrambled that I'm constantly looking at my phone. So even the time I'm supposed to be just with my kids, I'm feeling like I need to look at my phone. And I hate that. That makes me feel so guilty because my kids are like, Mom.
Oh yeah, well that's another big thing on mine. I tell people, do not multitask.
Yeah, I need to be.
Multitasking is of the devil.
It's not real. You can't. It's impossible to do
It's
that.
not, it's because
Like
you will
a
always
text and
feel that
drive.
guilt. If you're multitasking and you're trying to be with your kids but work at the same time,
Yeah.
you will feel guilt and then it will do nothing.
Yeah.
Because you'll be sad. So that's why that time block, it has to be non-negotiable and it has to be just work. And if you have to negotiate with your children, I think, was it you? I made this Kelly, but it's basically like, I'm giving you this time, right here. I'm working right now. And then you don't cross the 2 over. And let me just do you all a favor. You guys ever seen this side button? Right here? You ever seen that button? All of you should turn it off. No one should ever get pinged, ever. You know why? Because if you're pinging, you're a slave to someone else.
Wait, what? I'm confused.
Notification.
This sound. Like,
Oh, just keep it on silent.
just never, I want you to know my phone is never on. The ringer is never on. Ever. You want to know why? Because I'm in control of my time. No one is driving my time. You guys want to see all my notifications? This is funny. Like I'll do this. Like probably bad today because
You mean the ringer is never on?
7 text
People are
messages,
texting. Yeah, okay.
3 Facebook Messenger, 1 Instagram, and it says 54 Facebook, but it's probably more like 554.
That's probably all.
But you guys, you should never have this on because A, it stresses you out, and B, it's the total ultimate squirrel. It's the ultimate squirrel. Turn it off, like all the time. I'm not kidding you. It'll change your life. Guess what? This drives me crazy. My husband does not understand this concept. I just want you to know, there's other people who are not going to understand this concept, and it's okay. But like, have you ever, like, I call my husband on the phone. He's at the store, 4 kids, in the checkout line, unloading groceries. He will answer the phone. And he'll be like stressed and strung out and like snap at me. And I'm doing it on the checkout line.
Why
Don't answer the phone. has caller ID. You can call me back in a minute. You know, like, it's just so weird. You guys just don't answer the phone. Like, get back to people when it's your time to get back.
Can I tell you what a breakthrough that's gonna be for so many people in this room tonight? Just hearing that that's okay.
It is okay.
Yeah,
There is no one,
I needed to hear that.
seriously, there's just no one who's gonna do it. I mean, I know that you think that in your head, but there's just not. And they, you know, like these notifications are making me think. They really are.
Yeah.
So just turn off your phone. My phone doesn't buzz, it doesn't ding, it doesn't do anything. When I get a chance to look at it, I'll get back. I'll get back to you when I get a chance. And trust me, like I get back to people, right? Like my team knows I get back.
I just want to, how do you explain that to a very controlling mother who's in charge of your grandfather that you take care of that needs?
Like when you're working, so you take care of them, you take care of them 24 hours a day.
Oh, he lives with me, so like I'm supposed, she expects me to have my phone. Like if I don't, she'll call me. I'm not even kidding. Multiple times in a row, ding, ding, ding. Like, and if I don't answer, she's leaving me a voicemail letting me know that she's not happy with me for not answering.
I might block her number.
She's like this power of attorney, so like I have to like my boss.
Okay,
But
so,
she doesn't-
but even your boss doesn't deserve to do that to someone else. So you have to set what are called boundaries. And you have to say, there's a reasonable amount of time that I can get back to you. Let's establish that.
Yeah, I thought I have. I thought I've done that.
Tell her that you're going to block her phone calls until she agrees to terms.
I struggled with that really, and I did that not intentionally realizing how I didn't do it with that intention, but it's been changing my life to turn it on silent. But I don't know if anybody else has had trouble with text, like you read text, but you can't necessarily respond to the text at that time, and so then, oh, I totally thought I'd already responded to you, or you forget, right? So what I started doing is I turned my read report on my text, so people can see when I have read their text, and I do not open that text unless I am prepared to
That's
sit
what I was
down
going to
and
say.
answer.
I was going to say, please just don't open it until you can respond.
Exactly, and that has been like mind blowing.
Yeah.
So
And that's all about setting intentions, and it's about you running your day and not letting your day run you.
yes.
So I went to just an incredibly life-changing, I'll get to in a second, life-changing event. I was, if you want to read kind of the basis of where I developed this material from, it's from High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard. And he's all about you controlling your time, your day, your energy, your space, and how.
And he's
Will you
speaking
say
in
that
celebration.
again?
He's speaking in celebration, High Performance Habits.
I was just gonna tell anyone, I'm a caregiver for someone, and so I know if a certain number rings that I better pick up the phone no matter what I'm doing. And you can actually set that in your phone as an emergency bypass. And you just go into the contacts and hit emergency bypass on a specific number. And I had that set when my daughter was at college, because, you know, college kids don't call unless something's wrong. And for the caretaking number that I need to answer. So
That's good to know.
if you have that, I just want to share that is really important.
So one of the other things that Brendon says is you should not look at your phone or check your email in the first couple hours of your day. Yeah. The reason being is because you take that in and you're immediately set on someone else's agenda for
Yes.
the day.
So true.
So you have to set your own agenda. You know, set your own goals, set your own pace, set your own to-do list. Decide what it is you're going to be doing that day. I have my team set intentions, which are basically like your mindset for the day. Because how many of you have something that comes at you during the day? Like you were happy, you're happy, you're like, yeah, I'm okay. And then like someone comes at you in a negative space and totally flips your day upside down. You can control that too by setting your intentions throughout the day and by having reminders of those intentions and remembering what your intention is for the day. And it's just as simple as saying words. So I've had my team set intentions and set words that they focus on for the day. Mine are present, joyful, engaged. So every morning I think about those words and how I'm going to show up in the world in that way. Present, joyful, engaged. No matter who does or says what to me. Now, I can tell you right now, on Mother's Day, I did not set my intentions. One of my children ripped a shelf off the wall and I came unglued. You know what I'm saying? Freaking Mother's Day. Really? Get a grip for one day. Right, I don't, who knows? I mean, I was like resting in my room, whatever. But like, I mean, it was so funny, because my husband. So I actually have an alarm at 11 o'clock set on my phone to go off with those reminders. And my husband, as I'm yelling, screaming at one of my children, my phone's going off with the alarm, and he's like, and it was hilarious because it's my words that I'm supposed to say, so that I don't come late. You know, so if you set those and remind yourself throughout the day, it'll make a huge difference. Huge. But cannot pick up your phone, check your email, or do any of those things until you set that intention for the day. It's something you see, read, hear, do will set you up.
Do you find that people that, like, I use online for everything I do, and I do well with that, but do you find in training leaders that using paper is working better?
I feel like it is. I don't know. Does anyone else want to give feedback? I think most of my leaders use paper. And I know it's a tough transition, but I really just think visually seeing it, having it in front of you a lot of times during the day. No, it's not in front of you a lot of times during the day if you're on your phone. I work, seriously, 90% from my phone. I am very rarely at a computer. So I realize if you have it on your screen, on your computer, you're seeing it multiple times a day. But like, unless I'm opening my calendar app, I'm not seeing it. So that's why the visual reminders to stay on task are really important. And that's the reason why she was saying you have to block everything corner to corner so that you're using all your time wisely. Because there's time in it. Like, she's a mom of 5 kids, and she's like, I found extra time.
Do you prefer to use a smaller planner so that it's always with you?
It's totally up to you. You just have to, and you might go through I will tell you this right now, you might go through a couple planners
Before you find
so you find one that you like. Because there's different ones, and I seriously have like 3 empty planners because I couldn't jive with them. So
Do you have one you prefer, like that you recommend?
I personally like the either the Law of Attraction planner, probably one of the better ones. It comes in 2 different sizes, so you can get small or large. But they have other ones, just like at Target, that have this other. What's that one?
The Passion Planner.
Passion Planner. Passion Planner is probably the most popular one. You guys can go look at our calendar after. It's perfect.
I just want to share something because it's opposite to what most people have said so far as the time blocking and seeing it played out. So I had all this guilt and I just thought, I'm lazy, what's happening, I'm not working my business like I used to, what's wrong with me? And when I got my calendar out and I went from being a stay-at-home mom, work from home kind of thing to completely on my own and responsible for myself. And I looked at my calendar and it gave me such freedom and like it was like, I'm okay, like I'm busy. And so the hour that I put into it was so much more important. But for me, it was kind of the opposite. Like I realized I didn't have to beat myself up because right now in my life, that ebb and flow, I'm really, really busy surviving.
Yeah, that's a good, and it's also just a good analysis of what you're doing with your time. So for example, if you're super busy, but maybe some of the activities that you've chosen aren't serving the higher goal, then it's also an assessment tool to be like, where am I spending my time?
So question, as you're helping people do this and transition into being more intentional, what are some of the biggest roadblocks that people come up against as far as like they're transitioning from just flying by the seat of their pants throughout the day, serving everyone else before themselves to really being the master of their own time? What are those most common issues that people have to work through to really be successful with this?
That's a really good question. I would imagine that there's a lot of variations.
Yes, like what have you noticed? As
I feel like, so when I spend time one-on-one doing this with my leaders, I actually make them send me a screenshot for work every Sunday of their time blocking. Because I spent an hour teaching them the skill, and it takes how long to make it kind of sort of a habit, right? Like around 30 days. And so I wanted them to show me their calendar. So like the biggest thing I would say is like people aren't consistently doing it, right? They're not, again, going back to the little things that you do every day, all day that make the habit that make it consistent. It's the same problem. But if they're using the tool, they'll be successful. So I try to reinforce that by putting them in a little bit of a bubble and by asking them to be accountable for a short period of time to make sure that they.
I just want you guys to understand that you're never gonna meet somebody that's never gonna not say that they're the busiest person that they know. Everybody's busy. It's what you do intentionally every day to turn your busy into productive activity, to make an impact in people's lives. Everybody's busy. The ones that are making the most impact are extremely disciplined and consistent and intentional. They have a plan, they have a schedule, they have the mindset of being a CEO. I'm in charge. It's not my mentor, my downline, my sideline, my upline. It's all on me. There's extreme ownership that's being applied every day in everything that they do. And that's a 1% mentality. We're all the busiest people in the world. We all are. So it's just taking it and becoming very intentional and owning that. What are you doing with it?
So that 1% statistic, does that like freak anybody out?
But there's a lot of people in the world. It can be like,
I know. But like, it always used to freak me out, right? Like 1%, like who can be in the 1%? But the truth of the matter is that we do all can. And that's the beautiful thing about Isagenix. It's the correct vehicle. Yes. Okay, it's the right vehicle. It's the right time. It's the right place. There's a huge need. Yeah, huge need in the world for this product. And our compensation plan is incredible. I'm a witness to that. It's incredible. And you just have to do the activities. And the more that you do over time, consistently, the faster you will get to your goal. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all it's 9 o'clock. I'll answer a few more questions and then I'll let you guys go.
When you first started your business, were you already time blocking, or is that something you learned?
Well, I wasn't time blocking. I have used a time schedule management system in the past, like it gets familiar with Franklin Covey. So I did use that throughout my life, in and out. But like, I wish I had it here so I show it, but like, I would just like draw the arrow down and just like, there you go, that's it. And I would have like 1 or 2 arrows a day of something time blocked, right? So this is a very different thing. So if that's you, if you're in that category where you like have 5 or 6 things that are time blocked on your calendar, I just want you to make a shift. If you really, 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 really want to do this, I'm just telling you how to do it. I'm telling you how to take the action steps. So if you really, really, really want to do it, you have to make the time every single day to work your business. So you have to block it in, treat it like gospel, follow it every single day. And the reason why you have to time block the other things, like time with your children or time with your spouse, like I seriously, guys, I have to time block time with my spouse because I am that person. Like he's a big boy, and I'll probably just leave him there in a corner. Like I have to time block time with him because I love what I do so much. I just get carried away. And I just get all excited. Oh no, and he's over there like. So like I have to be that person who time blocks time and spends quality time with my phone away, not checking it while I'm spending time with him. And I do things like have a date night every Friday. And I've actually started to spend more time with him recently. I can do that now. So these are things that you have to work into that to make the balance happen. All right, guys, thank you so. Oh wait, one more question. Sorry, I want everyone to have that question.
So I'll try to tie this back into time blocking, but as far as you being so successful at duplicating and creating executives, how much time are you blocking to working with those people specifically? Where would you say that the most amount of weight is as far as your coaching for the people? It's like, just to kind of spin off, I remember when I decided to do this business, I literally was on the phone, texting, calling my sponsor every single day for months. But when I do that, it feels like I'm pushy. And I remember you, when you came here last time, talked about pushing people over that line. And so where would you say that you would hold the most amount of weight in actually getting people to move? Is it creating a vision? Is it making them do the schedule, and then time blocking time to have them show you that later? I mean, what is it that you're doing?
You answered your own question. Did anyone hear it? It's so slight. It's just like the slightest little twitch. But you said you hold your responsibility. So you should be spending the time with people who are calling you every day. That's who wants it.
Yeah, right.
That's who wants it. So if it's backward, because you do have to push some of the people over the invisible line. Jessica's my invisible line story. You heard me tell that story. But you have to know what they want. So you honestly cannot push anybody unless you have a discussion with them about what they want. And then you have permission. This is where, honestly, you guys, I'm just going to have a really real moment with you. This is where like 98% of you fail. You never have a discussion with someone about what they want. It's a really simple discussion. You just sit down with them and you say, well, how much would you like to make? Just give me a number. You know, give me a real number. Like, don't give me like a, you know, $1 million. Just give me like a number. Like, how much would make you happy if you got paid tomorrow in your Isagenix business? How much would that be? Let them give you a number. Like, it's going to be like a real number, right? 500. I want to get my products paid for, right? I want to make $1,000. I want to make 2,000. I want to make 3,000. I want to make 4,000, 5,000, whatever. She started wanting to have her products paid for. I knew this, and I got her to that point. And when we got to that point, she was open to having a little bit more because she was liking the income. So she just went over like maybe $1,000. And then she picked out a goal. She was like, I want to take my family on a cruise. And she knew it would cost, what, 10,000? 20,000. And so she was like, okay, I want to do this, Lindsay. Tell me what I got to do to get there. Well, you got to get to executive. You got to crush the executive. You'll have 20,000.
And I paid cash for it 6 months
There we
later.
go.
We're going on.
So, but I knew what she wanted. I knew what she wanted. If you don't know what they want, you really don't have permission to push them. You'll have a lot of dead-end conversations, and you'll waste a ton of time. I can tell you right now, don't waste time unless you know what they want.
I have a question for you, Lindsay, because you came in so strong, focused, and moved forward so quickly. What were your initial actions? I mean, you made phone calls, I'm guessing. You reached out to Jessica, you reached out to Melissa, you reached out to people and said what? And what was your driving, like, track?
Oh, okay, this is you guys. I wish you guys could help me on my business page because I have this guy on my team right now named JG Romero, and he's a freak show. I mean, you guys, this guy, when he gets on, he's talking like this all the time. He's like, oh my gosh, this product's so amazing. I like feel amazing. Like, is there a crack in this? Like, this is crazy. Like, I feel so good. And he is so up here. You cannot tell me that anyone he talks to is not going to buy from him. He's seriously on the top. You can go look for his name. He's the very top of the leaderboard for the spring summer.
Yep.
He's a maniac. I seriously laugh at him all the time. And I'm like a Marco Polo in his team thread, and he's in there all the time, like freaking out at everybody. So, I mean, I really think the people who are successful early on, it's their enthusiasm. People are buying you. So if you're going into a conversation really scared or really reserved, they're gonna like pick up on that, and they're just gonna be like, yeah, just kind of like you were saying. She's like, I had the objection of network marketing. I kept getting the objection of network marketing. If you're so excited, coming out of your skin excited, people, I mean, you're still gonna get no's, but the people who,
But they're gonna enjoy you.
right, you know, they're gonna get excited with you. They're gonna want to know why you're excited. They're gonna take a look because you're so excited.
And if they don't, it's okay to
Yeah.
catch yourself from the outcome.
Yeah, and actually, like JD will say that. He'll be like, I don't care what anyone says. You guys,
I just want to reiterate that when I started, I remember saying, oh my gosh, I'm doing this thing, and blah, 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 blah. And people were like, well, I want to do it. What are you doing anyway?
yeah, That's a perfect example, right? Like people, they want what you have. They don't necessarily care about it. They want to feel like you're feeling. They want that excitement. They want to feel good like that. They want to get excited like that. They want something like that in their lives. It's really that's what you're bringing.
I mean, in truth, it's like, how many of us would share Isagenix every single day with people and use the product ourselves, whether it's time or not?
Yes.
We would all do it, because we love it.
Okay. Any other questions? I don't like cutting people off. I'm the worst. But yeah, so thank you so much for letting me share this with you. I hope that.